In the first part of this series, I guess, I talked about the many, many fake degrees of Rashad Richey, a political media figure who's been prominent in the YouTube and larger Black political landscape for years. He works with the Young Turks Network and broadcasts progressive debates and opinion pieces, as well as top Karen of the Year segments. You know, important political discussions like that. I joke. I actually ran down his accolades at the top of my previous piece on him, which is what brings us here today. After covering all the programs he's appeared on and the Southeast Regional Emmy that he was nominated for, among other things, I moved into all the lying. And there's a lot of it. Since I gave him a heads up that that piece was coming out 48 hours before releasing it, which is standard for journalistic publications, he responded with a full edited TV segment the day after I released it, defending himself against my allegations. He didn't call me out by name, but my piece came out the day before and got 100,000 views. So I think I'm good in estimating that I was the reason he was making it. He really tried his best to defend the indefensible with painstaking details, but it was very inadequate in my opinion, and I'm going to show y'all why. There's actually a long list of things I called him out for that he didn't defend in that piece or even bring up because he didn't watch my video before making that response. Unfortunately, that was a mistake. Here's the claims I made that he didn't address, just so we get those out the way. IIC University, where he got that neurophysics degree. IIC University of Technology doesn't have a neurophysics graduate program. They literally only teach information systems, and most of the site is in Cambodian, fam. How many languages do you know? European American University, who he got several degrees through via John Kersey, a conservative who has a chain of fake degrees and fake things assigned to his name as well, as I reviewed in the first video. Also another fake degree. The Asia Pacific School of Business. He used to claim a degree from this one as well. That is also a fake school, as I reviewed in the first part. He didn't mention this. His degree from the Schofield Seminary. This is a neighborhood church that I reviewed in the first part as well. He's claimed all of these degrees and accomplishments on his LinkedIn and on the description for the Fairness Firm, a firm he created as a person who doesn't practice law because he hasn't passed the bar. I also mentioned his quantum physics book and his cure for Alzheimer's.
Dr. Richey is the patent holder for the neurological brain entrainment device.
He doesn't hold a patent. We've been over this. Listening to this video's narration made it kind of clear that, in my opinion, he's using AI to craft these stories in the first place, and then putting AI voiceovers on his own videos. Both of those things were in my first installment, and neither of them appeared in his response video. So that is all the things that I alleged that he had no response for and no answer for. Now, let's move into the things he tried to defend in his response. I'm going to point out why each and every one of them doesn't hold up in the light. But first, I have to start with a school I didn't even mention in my first video, Clark Atlanta University. I didn't bring that up in part one because I never said it was a lie. I told him at the end of the video that he has 2 degrees at best, and I meant advanced degrees. I was never concerned about his bachelor's degrees or any associate's degrees he might have. None of that was even on my radar. I saw it on the listings, but that was not something I was looking to challenge. So that's not really up for debate here. Clark Atlanta is actually one of the only schools that he has pictures of that he attended and graduated from for sure, where he has a degree on the wall. Unfortunately, there's a problem when it comes to this Clark Atlanta University mention, right? He mentions that he published his dissertation in a journal called the International Journal of Science and Research. In part one, I broke down how this is a predatory journal that is not peer-reviewed and not double-blind in any way. Sounds legit, but it pretends to be a scientific journal. We know this because of this impact score on top of the page. Those scores are given out by the Web of Science organization, and they have a searchable database. That journal doesn't show up. So this score is completely fabricated. It's listed by an independent organization that finds and lists and evaluates predatory journals. This journal has very aggressive solicitation, meaning they're thirsty for submissions and they're asking for them all the time. Journals don't do that. They have very low editorial standards and they review and post very quickly. All these things are not things you're going to find in any respected scientific journal. This is the only journal he has ever been published in, and it's an invalid predatory journal. It's going to come up a couple more times in this story, so I have to make this point. Why is the only journal you can get published in based in India? That doesn't say anything sketch to you? This may be his only real dissertation. Maybe this dissertation is real, but the publisher is extremely suspect. And putting that front and center as something you're going to brag about to solidify your credentials on an international broadcast, that's not a good look.
And you will find it in the fully refereed, peer-reviewed, double-blind academic journal called the International Journal of Science and Research.
The generic name of this journal indicates that they have no real credentials and no specific area of focus. Real journals have more descriptive names in them, like cognitive research, and they don't combine science and research in the same name.
Many are shocked to know that I was accepted at Dartmouth College and enrolled, and currently a student at Dartmouth College, in particular, the School of Medicine.
I never directly challenged his current enrollment in the Giesel School at Dartmouth. I hope he graduates.
I also hold a master's in agronomical physics. Agronomical physics from
This master's in agronomical physics, on the other hand, I debunked that in the last video, and I'm going to debunk it harder right now. The University of Renaissance. Whenever you hear the word Renaissance in this video, he's referring to the Université de la Renaissance de Haiti, based in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
my master's thesis, which is double-blind, peer-reviewed, and published.
We have totally invalidated this journal already. Did AI write this?
The University of Renaissance. They have a partnership with the University of Rennes 2, which is one of the largest research universities in France.
They had, emphasis on past tense, a partnership with Rennes 2 University, which he calls out in his response video. That partnership may not be in effect anymore. They do have a partnership with University of Montreal. That is true. Again, like I said in the last video, real university. I doubt the degree, though. University of Renaissance offers limited second cycle programs in collaboration with the University of Montreal. Agronomy doctorates ain't one of them. If you're going to publish your research in a fake journal time and time again, it calls into question the degree itself. People who go through the steps to actually get degrees don't go through the steps to fake their credentials after the fact. This master's in quantum physics from Paris Graduate School. I talked about Paris Graduate School in the last one. I talked about this degree in the last one. And I'll go into more detail here to explain all the red flags I'm seeing and how he's describing his experience. The IEE report can't be verified, by me at least, due to a blocked reference number. I called them and they said they need that number in order to validate anything. He blacked that out, and it doesn't seem like that number would give up any personally identifiable information. So that feels a little sketch. Also, this report doesn't match any samples I found online. They usually have a breakdown of the courses he took and the performance in those courses. But I do get that it's an employment report. Maybe I haven't seen those. I'll leave the door open for that.
Put up my dissertation defense for that physics degree.
This image is a collage of a photo op and some obscure documents that I can't see or verify in any way, and neither can anybody else. So those alone don't give me a peace of mind that this is not a diploma mill. He's claiming this degree was facilitated by some kind of special pilot program that involved Dr. Willie Rockwood from Morgan State University. Well, Paris Graduate School is not a documented partner of Morgan State University anywhere on the internet except your posts. You're the only one who's ever talked about it. I get that it may be a pilot program back then, but some kind of announcement, something would have been said about this if it was real. I'm suspicious. I covered Paris Graduate School in the last video, so let's add to what I said there. I searched the approved institute list at the Department of Education for Paris Graduate School and IKI, and those things combined, and nothing showed up. Paris Graduate School claims accreditation via the CUFCE, or the California University FCE. What the hell is Prime Light University? Y'all can't even fake your certificates correctly. A real one would repeat Paris Graduate School here. I found the page for the CUFCE. This one says it's official. It says it's cleared lawsuits and people need to drop their allegations, etc. So they're acting like they're the real thing. No comment on this design. I scrolled to the bottom to see some of the organizations they're partnered with to bolster their accreditations. And I clicked where they told me to for the NACE. They don't show up on this site under the members. Y'all told me to click here. I can't definitively say that there aren't any legal loopholes that I'm not aware of here, but there's a lot of suspect signs that screams diploma mill. This groundbreaking work that's mentioned in this article by Paris Graduate School isn't published anywhere. There's not a version of it we can see. You didn't even put it in this international journal of yours, which is surprising.
I've seen some of the ridiculous comments that have been made about this, and it's unfair to my colleagues. It's unfair to the students that I teach every day, and it's unfair to those who obtain higher education by any means, regardless of if it's approved by some said accrediting body or not.
Wait, what?
If you learned something, that is the point. And I've always been an advocate and champion of learning and educational models that are outside of the box.
Yeah, you definitely said what I thought you said. How are you defending these schools' accreditations while also saying they don't matter?
You know, just to note, having one doctoral degree actually qualifies you as a scholar, by the way. Just one of them does.
There's no qualification to become a scholar. That's not a formal term that has any requirements list. It's just something people like you like to throw around to establish yourself and bolster your credentials. But it usually comes with significant peer-reviewed research, of which you have none. Hey, you decided to call yourself that, not me. I'm not taking shots at you because I'm better than you or something like that, which is what a lot of y'all tend to take away from this. As I ended my last video, I acknowledge that he has more doctorates than I do. I got a bachelor's degree, but I've never lied about any of my education.
Yes, I have a law degree. Put it up, full mass. My law degree does, in fact, qualify me to take the bar in the United States of America.
We're back to the University of Renaissance with this law degree. The A to Z evaluation report he posted is from a former member of
NACES, NACES, is the top credential evaluation service for this professional licensure.
Not a current one. Members are typically removed for failing to adhere to ethical requirements. Make of that what you will.
I completed my Doctor of Jurisprudence at Renaissance University through their law program.
Foreign universities can only qualify for 1/3 of the required law credits, which means you had to get them from somewhere else, right? That would be Birmingham School of Law, which you said you spent a brief amount of time at, and John Marshall Law School in Atlanta, which you flunked out of. I know that because there's a letter from the registrar on screen who says that you failed out academically both times. You failed to mention that in your response video. You did allude to COVID and explain why there were difficulties involved and why you left and had to transfer, but you didn't mention failing out. Also, these institutions that do qualify need to have a partnership with a parent school based in the US, or a parent school that's at least acknowledged in some way by the American Bar Association, which only acknowledges US schools. Yeah, there is none. There are no partnerships with US-based schools that can back this up. So this isn't going to fly.
Now, this is from the National Private Investigation and Intelligence firm that specializes in credential evaluation.
The National Intelligence and Investigation firm he's referring to is the NPII. I found their website and I saw this address in the contact section. It matches the one he lists for his various businesses. This printout is from the fake college he created. That's coming later. So he owns the firm he's citing to investigate his credentials? You're investigating yourself, like the cops. Need another piece of evidence? A viewer sent me this, a PR.com listing for the business, NPII, with his email address as the primary. I can't make this up. I'm not creative enough. I elaborated on the fake websites he's created to bolster his credentials in my first video. This crazy long article published by his fake propaganda site, Science News Watch, was found by the fake PhD investigator. He uncovered that a woman named Crystal Bowie, another media figure who retired from being a reporter to move into running a PR firm called Spotlight Communications Group, remember that name, helped him create a network of fake sites. How do we know these sites are owned by Rashad and his associate Crystal?
Doctor of Jurisprudence degree, is from an accredited university and is considered a qualifying law degree.
Private intelligence agency would not generate a report that drowns us in a Wikipedia article list of famous people that attended this university in order to help us believe them.
BHU holds multiple accreditations, including TRACS, Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools, and accreditor recognized by the United States Department of Education.
BHU is TRACS accredited. That is true. I acknowledged that in my first video, and I took a shot at TRACS because although it's qualified with the Department of Education as a national accreditor, it's based on Christian colleges. Unless your degree is in theology, I don't see the point of touting a Christian accreditor as the credentials you need for your degree to be relevant.
Also, I completed a one-year program in neuroscience. That was a 45 credit program, I believe, maybe a 41. It was a 40 credit program. So in that program, they analyzed it.
Nah, you mean you analyzed it.
Richey completed a one-year 40 credit Master of Science in Neuroscience at the Universidad del Pacifico de Nicaragua. This was their international program for American students.
The University of Pacific, UNIP, I covered this in my first video. This is a fake school, and I stand by that. All of their partner universities on the site are also fake schools. These doctors he's naming right now on screen, the only thing that comes up for any of these names in connection to UNIP is a puff piece published by one of the sites that you allegedly own based on all the research I talked about in video 1. Riddle me this. Why exactly does this chunk of text from this random article match this report from MPII, a supposed third-party firm, word for word? You must think we're stupid.
Karen Chang is listed as the university's international relations officer.
Karen Chang is a very popular name, but the one you're talking about doesn't show up anywhere that I can see.
Listed faculty include notable medical biochemist Dr. Kimesh Venkatakrishnan.
Dr. Kimesh Venkatakrishnan exists, but has never been affiliated with any school called UNIP.
Psychologist Dr. Lingmai Hisu.
Dr. Lingmei Su exists, but a few papers are the only trace of her anywhere, and she's not affiliated with UNIP either.
Dr. Jifeng Liu.
Dr. Jifeng Liu definitely doesn't exist because that family name is spelled Liu. You'd think an investigative firm wouldn't make that mistake.
And Dr. Shiwa Sai.
I found Dr. Sai's whole CV. Do any of those positions look like UNIP to you? Can you not read?
Quantum engineering of nanocrystal and superlattice metamaterial with botanical chlorophyll additives, demonstrating repeatable plasma streamer, field.
My bad. I ain't mean to get personal. They don't have a faculty page, and they don't teach neuroscience. He says they're a listed member with the International Association of Universities, but that university doesn't show up under Nicaragua at all. Again, the research is published in this journal that we've already debunked.
I hope that's enough to qualify me for those who are the naysayers.
It's not.
My brother, I'm sorry I had to have you to sit through all that. I'm doing this one damn time.
You might want to do it again. Just saying. Now that we've gotten through all the things he put in his response video and debunked each and every one, I'm going to drop another fact that y'all didn't know about Rashad. I held this one back from video 1 because I was being nice. Rashad Richey created his own fake college. Yeah, in 2024, he created a college called St. Magnus. Trust me, I was just as shocked as y'all. Check out the name of the university. St. Magnus University of Science and Research. Does that ring a bell? He's gotten so many fake degrees at this point, it's almost like he took a note out of John Kersey's book and decided that he needs to get on the scam at the top level. This bio is in the Hall of Fame of overcompensation. I promise y'all are not ready for this. Kersey has a stack of overlapping doctorates, chancellor and professor positions at the same fake colleges Rashad Richey got his degrees from, light bulb, archbishop positions, and he named himself royalty in Europe. Published hella books himself via the European American press, has multiple knighthoods, is a colonel, admiral, and lieutenant colonel in several American states, and got a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Obama in 2014. Surprise, surprise. Here's the site via the Wayback Machine, so the pictures are going to be knocked off, but all the information is still there. It's registered in 2024. Scroll down just a little bit and you see 4 black people, 2 of them who appear to be related, who are all running a diploma mill or at least trying to. I don't think this one successfully got off the ground, but all 4 of these people are added to the list of academic scammers now. Here's the registered owner, which is himself and 2 other companies he owns at the same address. I don't know why he thought he'd get away with that. And here's where they were offering courses in shit like the biophysics of ethereal healing to foreign students who don't know any better. Y'all starting to see the grifts, right? See, in Florida, these kinds of religious institutions are exempt from regulation. We got the DOE really bold on top because they met the minimum requirements in Florida for religious institutions. Hey, we got Paris Graduate School. I know y'all remember that one. And the Society of the Royal Catholic Truth. Basically, he's justifying the existence of St. Magnus University by saying that they're higher educational partner institutions. Right. So PGS is definitely a diploma mill. We were guessing at it before, but we know for sure now. Scroll down a little bit further. Hey, Universidad del Pacifico, UNIP. Hey, California University FCE, fake accreditor. Lined up next to each other. And then we got the fake certificate. Remember how there was a wrong name in the one for PGS before? This time there's no name at all. It just says the above named institution. I don't know if he actually scammed anyone, but the attempt alone is enough. I've included links to all that in the description below. In conclusion, whether you sue me or not, you're lying. I think it's very evident to anyone who bothers to pay attention that you're one of the most aggressive liars that we've ever come across, because you just stood up in front of us in this response video and lied harder about imaginary schools and imaginary people at those schools. That takes some balls, I'll give you that. I didn't know what you'd do in response to my first video, but now I know that you're prepared to die with the lie. And I almost got to salute that. But here's the main point I came here to make, because a lot of y'all responded to my first video with, hey, why you tearing down somebody who's been doing the work? And it's not my first time encountering that, right? I talk about white people, I talk about black people, I talk about scammers of all types through several of my series and deep dives, DC scammers, etc. And I always have to keep bringing up the fact that I don't just talk about black people, but also, as I've said before, my world is black. I'm a black creator talking about black scammers that are hurting the black community. So of course, I'm going to target them. A lot of y'all failed to see the scam as well. Well, when you falsify your degrees, when you stand on this mountain of lies and purposely trick people and deceive people with manipulative language and made up stories and fake professors and fake schools, and create your own fake school, which you intend to profit off of, do I need to say more? That's a scam in and of itself. In the black community, we tend to elevate individuals who demonstrate themselves to be, quote unquote, on our side and to be exceptional via academic accomplishments or athletic accomplishments, professional and entertainment, that type of thing, without vetting them, without checking to see if they're really about what they're talking about. And that brings me to my next point, which is going to be the point of the next video that I unfortunately had to separate from this one because I'm in a rap beef now. He's a fake progressive. He's wearing this costume to get the bag, in my opinion. And I'll spend my entire next video diving into my evidence for that claim. I'm sorry to make y'all wait so long, but to give y'all a little bit of a teaser for that, I'll drop a snippet from one of his dissertations that drive home one of his real opinions as we fade this out. Catch y'all on the next one.